from the Daily Mail about why exactly the Beckhams have ditched the Sussexes for Prince William and Catherine. Richard Eden writes, the fascinating freebie reason the Beckhams have ditched the Sussexes, as my source tells me, Victoria never really liked Meghan. The source went on, both David and Victoria put great importance on family and would never ever turn on their relations, the way that Harry and Meghan did. The truth is that Victoria never really liked Meghan much. She was friendly and welcoming to her, but is not bothered about staying in touch. And of course, this comes after a disastrous run of PR for Meghan and Harry, and it also comes after William managed to infuriate his brother Harry by posing with David Beckham at the London Air Ambulance, where David Beckham actually then gave an interview. So, P. Dina, this is just great to see you, by the way. Brilliant to have you here. Love your channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But this is so interesting to me because there has been such a bad run of PR out of Hollywood for Meghan Markle. And I'm not a big fan of the Beckhams. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've got quite a long checkered history with them. They're not actually particularly great people, P. Dina. They know how to play things in public behind the scenes, especially David, quite a nasty piece of work. However, I think it's very telling that they have decided this week to start properly briefing against Meghan Markle with the brutal line, Victoria never even liked her.
Yeah, I think that is one of those things where it eventually comes out always because I think of the two couples, the Beckhams and the Sussexes definitely show themselves to the masses to not really be nice people the way they move together in their relationship. I've always enjoyed the Beckhams. I may not have the same type of past as you have, but I love their documentary. They seemed
That
really
was good,
real to
actually.
me.
All right, folks, grab your popcorn because the Beckhams have officially dumped Meghan and Harry, and the reason? Victoria never liked Meghan. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't just speculation. This comes straight from royal insiders. According to sources close to the Beckhams, Victoria was polite but never actually liked Meghan. She saw through the act, wasn't impressed, and frankly, she had no interest in staying in touch. No. The Beckhams have made it very clear where they stand. Unlike Meghan and Harry, David and Victoria put family first. And let's be honest, they probably saw the red flags from day one. Now let's get into the real tea. Why did the Beckhams finally distance themselves from Meghan and Harry? Well, it all goes back to one of Meghan's biggest mistakes, her paranoia. Yes, you heard that right. Meghan actually accused Victoria of leaking stories about her to the press. And when David found out, he was furious. I mean, imagine that. You invite these people into your inner circle and they turn around and accuse you of backstabbing them.
Imagine if Harry and Meghan had managed to do a Netflix documentary like that, P. Dina, rather than their
Yeah,
awful one.
yeah. I mean, they could have done so much more and come off more likable, more sincere, generous, more thought-provoking, but it was a wine fest about what people have done to us. And they sit in all their luxury. They sit in all of their opulence and whine about it. I think that's what is so hard to reckon because I liked when David called Victoria out in the Netflix documentary about how, talk about the car you were picked up in when, your father picked you up.
Yeah.
And
You're
yeah, she
you're
had to
you're
kind
not
of dumb
working
it down.
class, Victoria.
Right. Yeah. So
Exactly.
you don't
There's
see that
none of
side of
that
Harry and
banter
Meghan.
between Harry and Meghan, is there? They
Right.
take everything so seriously. And I don't know about you,
Yeah.
Dina, but I think it's so important that your partner can make you laugh. You know?
Yes, and poke fun at yourself.
Yeah.
Don't always be serious. I think Megan tries to be so controlled and with that fake laugh and everything's good and okay, yes, honey, yes, dear. It's like so controlled and you just don't loosen up a little bit and laugh and poke fun at yourself and just be real. And you don't get that. And I think Harry is suffering from being claustrophobic from it all, and he is definitely finding himself in a position to um I don't know, not find himself living a life that he wants to live, essentially.
Indeed. No, indeed. How damaging will this be for Meghan? Because I'm not saying one line from Victoria Beckham is going to change the game. But when we remember, P. Dina, this comes on the back of Hollywood Reporter, it comes on the back of Newsweek, it comes on the back of the Daily Beast, it comes on the back of the Sunday Times, all publications that used to be pretty sympathetic to Meghan Markle. Now a celebrity friend who actually attended the wedding. It just feels like the drumbeat and the revelations about what this woman is really like, and I know you've been saying it for a long time, I've been saying it for a long time, but these are former fans and former friends who are now saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what I said before, it's just all really starting to come out, and the downfall is literally happening. We watch everything flop. We don't really see any wins. You hear people coming out calling Megan a bully. You have a lot of negativity that surrounds this woman. She portrays negativity. She gets it. And I gets the negativity. And so I think she's just in a position now where she's not going to find herself winning, doing well, and she's bringing Harry down with her. And I think this is why Harry has decided to go off, do what he's done, what he knows how to do without her, because it's just not a winning combination with them together. And you can see it. It really is a phenomenon. It's so different than what we see with other celebrity couples. You don't really see it happening in real time. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just my interest in what they're doing, but I just get this as the biggest flop that we're witnessing in history. And this is going to be for the history books. It's really a phenomenon to me. I can't believe it. I just think you have to have people that are going to tell you things you don't want to hear so that you can move in a space that is legit and authentic, but they don't want to do that. And hey, good. I'm glad. I want to talk about it. I find it very interesting, quite honestly.
And here's where things get even juicier. David Beckham has now fully aligned himself with Prince William. The two were recently spotted at a major charity event together, laughing, shaking hands, and looking like the ultimate power duo. Meanwhile, Harry was nowhere to be seen. You don't need to be a royal expert to see what's happening here. David and Victoria have chosen their side. And spoiler alert, it's not Meghan and Harry.
I think you're right. I actually think you're right. Possibly the biggest flop in entertainment history. Because it's not just that it's cost companies literally tens of millions of dollars. I mean, when you add it all up, I mean, that's like, I look back to the big Hollywood flops like Waterworld, for example. Remember that Kevin Costner movie in the 90s that cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make and didn't take much at the box office. But the difference with this is that Harry and Meghan were at the top of the world. They were given everything. And to fall so quickly, even with all of Hollywood behind you. I mean, come on. You've got Netflix behind you. You've got Spotify behind you. You've got Oprah Winfrey behind you. You've got the President of the United States of America behind you. And it still didn't work. And you know why it didn't work, P. Dina? Because they are not nice people. And at the end of the day, the public will not accept it. Just like eventually Ellen DeGeneres was found out too.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing with Ellen, she did what she did, had her celebrity, people loved her. She had this false pretense of be kind. And then when it came out that she wasn't kind, she had her downfall. But what's so different about Harry and Meghan is, okay, so they had their celebrity in the royal family, the royal wedding. We loved all that. But then as they come to America and they try to build this empire, immediately out the gate, if something is wrong and they're not even really getting a head start to even try to be liked, to try to get momentum, to get your celebrity at a high profile, immediately people are just not feeling it. And I think for someone like Meghan to see this happening to herself, does she not see the things she needs to do to get people to see her differently? I don't think she can. I think she is so blinded by her narcissism that she can't even see what she needs to do to get her celebrity, because we're watching her try to get it, but it will never happen. It's like we're eating our popcorn watching, okay, girl, what you gonna do? Oh, okay, you're gonna try to do that American Riviera Orchard. Okay, we're gonna watch this flop. Let's see what you're gonna do. And you're entertained by it. It's just, I can't believe it. I really can't.
Yeah, indeed. And I know that we had been tracking the tone on this for such a long time, but sometimes, it takes Hollywood a long time to catch up. It takes them a long time to realize, no, the public aren't with you. And it was that article. It was this article, Why Hollywood Keeps Quitting on Harry and Meghan and the Hollywood Reporter, where it was finally like, wow, even Tinseltown has caught up. And these days, Dina, the public leads and Hollywood has to follow because Hollywood is about the money. And there's no money to be made anymore from Harry and Meghan, just like there's no money to be made anymore from Ellen DeGeneres. They are busted flush.
Completely busted. And that I made a video where I made the correlation between what has happened with P. Diddy and what is and could happen to Harry and Meghan.
Oh, tell me about that. I haven't watched that yet. So by the way,
yes,
everyone has to sign up to P. Dina's channel. I'm going to put the link in my show notes. Her videos are incredible, but I haven't watched this yet. So can you give me a little preview of the parallels?
Yeah,
And honestly, this is just the latest disaster in Meghan's long list of PR fails. At this point, it's almost comical. Everything she touches turns into a disaster. It's like clockwork. Every few months, another big name in Hollywood quietly backs away from them. First it was Oprah, then Spotify, then Netflix started pulling back, and now? Even the Beckhams want nothing to do with them. I mean, think about it. If you can't even hold on to friends in Hollywood, the fakest industry on earth, what does that say about you? Let's talk about the bigger picture here. Hollywood is officially done with Meghan Markle. For years, the media tried to prop her up as some kind of glamorous humanitarian, but now, the illusion is shattered. And let's be honest, people are tired of the poor Meghan routine. At first she played the Hollywood outsider fighting against the royals card, but now, nobody's buying it anymore. It's the same story over and over. They whine, they play the victim, and then they get caught contradicting themselves. And now, even the people who used to support them are turning away. And the numbers prove it. Their popularity is at an all-time low. Meanwhile, Prince William and Princess Catherine are soaring in popularity. So here's the real question. Is this the final nail in the coffin for Meghan's Hollywood dream? Because let's be honest, if even the Beckhams don't want to be associated with you, it's over. And let's not forget, Prince William just keeps winning. While Harry is stuck on the sidelines, William is gaining more high-profile allies.
okay, so basically the parallel begins with, you have this narcissism and you have this really big ego that gets you essentially in trouble. And that's what happened with P. Diddy when he didn't want to settle the lawsuit with Cassie so that it didn't come out in the open. But it came out in the open because he didn't want to settle. And now there are other people now following suit and trying to say, well, he did something to me too. And so now there's more lawsuits coming because he didn't want to just keep it behind the wall on the down low with Cassie in the beginning because he thought, look, I'm untouchable. Go do what you're going to do. You're not going to try to get anything from me. Well, she did go after him, and then he settled within 24 hours. And it's kind of like with the Hollywood Reporter article with Harry and Meghan, or Meghan more specifically, that they finally have turned on Meghan. And this article is showing people, the masses, the legit people in the industry, there is a there. And so now more people are coming out to also call Meghan a bully. And I believe that there's going to be a possible lawsuit even against Meghan, because if you're doing things around employment law, you are breaking the law, you are doing things against your employees that are not okay, because you have to, as an employer, you have to follow employment law. And if you're not doing that, all of your NDAs are null and void. You can't uphold any NDA if you are not abiding by the law. And I think other people now seeing this article come out in the Hollywood Reporter will be able to now follow suit. Well, do an article what she did to me because she did something similar to me. And now more people are going to come out and talk about it. And so it's the similarities between what we see with Diddy and his downfall, and then what could eventually happen with Meghan and Harry and their impending more of a downfall, with more people now coming out about the bullying allegations, because we know what happened when they were in the royal family. Hey, it could have even happened before Meghan even came into royalty, the people she worked with before we even knew who she was. So they're opening up the floodgates to more allegations to come out, because she should have never responded to that Us Weekly magazine, with the Us Weekly magazine article saying what a good person she is. This is why the parallels, I think, are similar, and how it could be the same thing for Meghan and Harry, what happened with P. Diddy.
So interesting. So interesting. And you know what? I so hope you're right about the lawsuit, because you know the problem is, Pidina, in terms of the UK, the Sussex Survivors Club, and I know it's much bigger now because obviously it's got the American members, but in terms of the Sussex Survivors Club members in the UK, and that's the former staff members who worked for Meghan and Harry and have all of the horror stories, they are completely tied by the Official Secrets Act in the UK. And that means that because Harry and Meghan are members of the royal family, it would actually be against the law. They could actually go to jail if they were to speak up. Now, I think that's completely outrageous, because Buckingham Palace has actually never released the findings of the bullying investigation. But if this were to happen in the US with American staff members who worked for Harry and Meghan outside of their role in the UK, I can't see why, as you say, the NDAs would not be valid. So I really hope the staff consider that.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's not even a competition anymore. So the way I see it, this is just the beginning of the END for Meghan in Hollywood. Because if you can't keep A-list friends, can't keep business deals, and can't keep public support, then what do you have left? Alright folks, if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and let's get the conversation going. Do you think Meghan's Hollywood dream is officially over? Or will she somehow manage to bounce back? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.